Remember, biblical wisdom for today's lesson. When all the people had crossed the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, "Now choose 12 men, one from each tribe. Tell them, take 12 stones from the very place where the priests are standing in the middle of the Jordan. Carry them out and pile them up at the place where you will camp tonight." So Joshua called together the 12 men he had chosen, one from each of the tribes of Israel. He told them, "Go into the middle of the Jordan, in front of the ark of the Lord your God. Each of you must pick up one stone and carry it out on your shoulder, 12 stones in all, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. We will use these stones to build a memorial. In the future, your children will ask you, 'What do these stones mean?' Then you can tell them, 'They remind us that the Jordan River stopped flowing when the Ark of the Lord's covenant went across.' These stones will stand as a memorial among the people of Israel forever." So the men did as Joshua had commanded them. They took 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan River, one for each tribe, just as the Lord had told Joshua. They carried them to the place where they camped for the night and constructed the memorial there. Joshua also set up another pile of 12 stones in the middle of the Jordan, at the place where the priests who carried the Ark of the Covenant were standing. And they are there to this day. The priests who were carrying the ark stood in the middle of the river until all of the Lord's commands that Moses had given to Joshua were carried out. Meanwhile, the people hurried across the riverbed, and when everyone was safely on the other side, the priests crossed over with the ark of the Lord as the people watched. The armed warriors from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh led the Israelites across the Jordan, just as Moses had directed. These armed men, about 40,000 strong, were ready for battle, and the Lord was with them as they crossed over to the plains of Jericho. That day the Lord made Joshua a great leader in the eyes of all the Israelites, and for the rest of his life they revered him as much as they had revered Moses. The Lord had said to Joshua, "Command the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant to come up out of the riverbed." So Joshua gave the command. As soon as the priests carrying the Ark of the Lord's covenant came up out of the riverbed, and their feet were on high ground, the water of the Jordan returned and overflowed its banks as before. The people crossed the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month. Then they camped at Gilgal, just east of Jericho. It was there at Gilgal that Joshua piled up the 12 stones taken from the Jordan River. Then Joshua said to the Israelites, "In the future your children will ask, 'What do these stones mean?' Then you can tell them, 'This is where the Israelites crossed the Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the river right before your eyes, and he kept it dry until you were all across, just as he did at the Red Sea when he dried it up until we had all crossed over. He did this so all the nations of the earth might know that the Lord's hand is powerful, and so you might fear the Lord your God forever." Joshua 4. Why did God ask the Israelites to build a memorial? The purpose of these stones is to become a sign. The Hebrew term ot is often associated with the word wonder and can refer to miraculous acts done by God, see yesterday's video, such as the plagues on Egypt, Exodus 7 verse 3, and Deuteronomy 4 verse 34. It can also carry the meaning of symbol or token as an outward sign of a deeper or transcendent reality. For example, the rainbow is a sign of the covenant, Genesis 9 verses 12 and 13. The blood on the doorposts and lintels of the Israelite houses is also called a sign, Exodus 12 verse 13. And most significantly, the Sabbath is a sign of creation and of God's sanctifying presence, Exodus 31 verse 13 and 17, and Ezekiel 20 verse 12. Here the sign functions as a memorial, reminding each subsequent generation of the miracle of the crossing. The term memorial, zikaron, comes from the word zakar, to remember, which denotes more than a passive act of recalling something. It implies a remembering followed by a proper action, Deuteronomy 5 verse 15 and Deuteronomy 8 verse 2. The setting up of stone memorials, Genesis 28 verses 18 to 22, and rituals that triggered questions, Exodus 12 verses 26 to 27 and Deuteronomy 6 verses 20 to 25, was common in the Old Testament. Instead of repeating the miracles again and again, God establishes monuments that evoke the memory of his great acts and prompt meaningful answers. Therefore, the sign is to be there forever, implying the need to keep this miracle of the Lord in the collective memory of His people perpetually. The potential question of future generations is significant because it is formulated in a personal way. What are these stones to you? Each new generation must internalize and understand the meaning of these stones for themselves personally. The faith in a miracle-making God can be kept alive only if each generation rediscovers the significance of the mighty acts of Yahweh for themselves. Such a faith will make a major difference between living out faithfully Bible-based traditions and traditionalism, the dead religion of the living generation deprived of its original value and fervor. In the end, we need to make our Bible-based faith our own. No one, especially our ancestors, can believe for us. What are some of the memorials, personal memorials, from your own walk with the Lord that help you remember what He has done for you?